Welcome back to Newsday. A rights group is calling on President Bola Tinubu to make the process for appointing the next INEC chairman fully transparent. The current chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, will complete his second term this November. The group, known as SERAP, has asked the president to publicly disclose the names of candidates and to confirm whether the constitutional requirement to consult the Council of State will be followed. It argues that an open process is vital for ensuring the Electoral Commission's independence and public trust. This comes amidst rumors that the president has asked the current INEC chairman to step aside early, which a senior lawyer, Femi Falana, has stated will be unconstitutional. Well, joining me now from our Abuja studio is Jake Epelle, rights advocate and executive director of the Albino Foundation. He'll be sharing his insights on the calls for greater transparency in the appointment process of INEC's next chairman and what reforms could mean for the credibility of Nigeria's elections. Good to have you on the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tani. Nice having me.
So what steps do you think can be taken to ensure a transparent and merit-based selection process for the next INEC chairman, and how can they build trust in Nigerians regarding this process?
Well, the requirement for leadership, whether it is organization, institution, faith-based, the requirement for leadership is that individual with character, competence, and vision. So we are saying that the would-be INEC chairman must be first a person of character. Can we vouch for his character or her character? By the way, what stops a woman taking the position? But whoever it is, we want somebody that has the competence and the character to restore the already distorted, broken confidence that the people have on the present INEC setup. So we need to fight tooth and nails to ensure that we have a chairman that can be trusted, a chairman that has the interests of Nigerian electorate, a chairman that will not be biased, a chairman that has the fear of God, a chairman that would be able to look politicians in the eyes and tell them that he will not do what they want him to do. So we're looking for a credible chairman that will represent the ideals of democracy, that would be a true Democrat, that will not be partial, and do what the Nigerian electorate wants him to do, and that means to declare result of whoever won. We don't want a chairman that will be manipulated by any arms of government. We don't want a chairman that becomes a rubber stamp of the president and the other arms of government. I think the electoral space has suffered a lot, be it manipulation of the judicial system to bring in somebody oftentimes that did not even contest election. In the area, of course, the area that I always speak about is inclusivity. So we need a chairman that will further inclusivity, which I must commend Mahmood. I think Mahmood had done well in terms of the framework of inclusivity in the electoral space, in terms of the policy of inclusivity in the electoral space, in terms of acquiring inclusive resources for persons with disability. So now we're looking for somebody who can rise to the occasion and rebuild the broken trust that our electorates have against the electoral umpires, whether it's at the local government or at the subnational or even at the national. So we need a leader that has vision, that is willing to roll his or her sleeve and go to work. A leader who will champion true electoral reforms, which is begging for activation by Nigerians and Nigerian institutions. So we need an all-round leader that will be able to take us to the promised land when it comes to the democracy and election.
Now, very well said, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians, would agree with you on the characteristics, of the next INEC chairman that Nigeria needs. But then I'm wondering how the selection process, can be insulated from political interference so that it is free, from bias, from rancor, and so that we get the right person for the chairmanship position.
Very good question, Temi. See, there are constitutional provision for selection of INEC chairman. But I think the time has come for us to take a second look, a cursory look at the clauses and the provision and see whether does he meet the global standard? Does he meet the best practice when it comes to recruiting an individuals? Is there any way we can be more innovative to ensure that the process is transparent, to ensure that whoever that will contest for that position is not a member of APC, PDP, or any other political party? So for me, my submission will be that what stops us from advertising the position? What stops us from constituting a body that would interview those who wants to be part, who wants to take this mantle of leadership in the electoral space? Why can't we be more innovative than the more or less the structured criteria in the Constitution? There can be some amendments, some quick amendments that will allow us to do that. If we're going to do the right thing, and then we are being barricaded by the law, that law becomes archaic. So we can change it in order to innovate, in order to ensure there is true transparency in the process, and meritocracy. We shouldn't just say a northerner has taken it before, it's now the turn of the southerner. It's not about where you come from. It's about being able to deliver good governance in the electoral space. It's about who has a vision and a passion and patriotic to deliver the dying democratic space in the country. We need the process to be thoroughly interrogated. There's nothing wrong with the president if there's any way we can quickly do some sort of amendment, some sort of act that will allow him to implement the modern way of recruitment. We all run an organization. There are modern ways of recruitment. For instance, in my organization, we cannot recruit except we advertise. Otherwise, the funding partners will ask you to pay back that money. Or you cannot go and take your relative, and that relative did not go through the process, So there's a need for us to interrogate what is working. A law that is moribund shouldn't be at the center of this discussion. If there are places we need to amend to ensure that we bring in credible individuals, because I pity the next INEC chairman, because there's a whole lot of problem that person is going to go through. So if that person is not credible, if that person is not a people's person, if that person doesn't have what it takes, if we have looked at the background of that individual, is not been able to run an institution, why would he come and run INEC? And I'm also a proponent of unbundling this INEC. I think it's too big and not able, is like an elephant that can't move. So elephant that is afraid of the grass to step on. So we need to look at INEC and see what is possible. But the campaign for a new INEC, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so just before I let you go, you talked about the new INEC chairman facing a lot of challenges. I would like you, to briefly touch on it and, what sort of reforms you expect the new INEC chairman to carry out very briefly. We have just a matter of seconds to wrap up.
It's not about reforms that is focusing on INEC. We're talking about reforms that focuses on the entire ecosystem of democracy. But to answer your question directly, he will face challenges of lack of confidence. The people obviously are finding it difficult to believe, even when they mean well. The current INEC, even when they mean well, the people are finding it difficult to believe them. I believe that Mahmoud had done some good things, as much as also he has to also be held accountable for some of the things that he did that is not so good. So any new INEC now is going to be a Herculean task, but if that person is transparent, if that person is responsible, if that person is accountable, if that person wants to serve Nigerians, he will get Nigerian support. I'll tell you one thing, Nigerians are very patient with people.
Very well said, Mr. Jake Epelle, rights advocate and executive director of the Albino Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.